At the beginning of the story, our main character is introduced, whose name is Yuichi. He is returning home from school, where his cute fiancé is waiting for him. Upon his arrival, she welcomes him with his classmates. To understand how his married life began, we need to go back a little. Now, a scene from some time earlier is shown, where Yuichi is sitting in his class, feeling quite bored. Suddenly, his friend Kurai Masaharu, who has been his classmate for 5 years, comes and starts tickling him. However, Yuichi does not react the way he was thinking because he is lost in another thought. Before coming to school, his dad had called him to tell him that he is going to live somewhere else for the whole year, and that he has arranged for a marriage proposal with his client's daughter, Yuka. This means that he will have to live with her. Yuichi is troubled by 2 things. First, his dad's divorce has shattered his faith in marriage. Secondly, something happened to him in his junior high 3rd year, which made him avoid girls. While he is thinking about all this, his friend Masa tells him that it has been 5 years, and he thinks it's amazing that if he had been with a girl for 5 years, something would have definitely happened between them. Masa encourages him not to waste his chance, meaning he is currently dating Nihara. Yuichi says that she is right there and can hear them. We then see Nihara, who is the most beautiful girl in class. She winks at Yuichi, making him quickly turn away, thinking that he cannot stand her, and he wants to stay as far away from 3D girls as possible. While thinking this, his gaze shifts to another plain-looking girl who is reading books, wearing glasses, and has her hair tied up. He starts to wonder who she is, and thinks that she must have introduced herself. He asks Masa about her, but Masa is surprised, and says he doesn't know her either. Yuichi thinks about how nice it would be to live a calm life like hers. We learn about his past when he was in his junior high 3rd year. He used to be very lively, happy, and the center of attention. He easily talked to everyone. But one day after school, while everyone was joking around, he confesses to a girl, "Hey, do you want to go out with me?" However, the girl politely rejects him. After that rejection, Yuichi doesn't think much about it. He sincerely wished it hadn't happened, but the next day, the girl tells everyone about his confession, and they start mocking him. That was the moment it hit him, and he hasn't been the cheerful person he was before since then. With the school break approaching, Yuichi, feeling quite bored, thinks about not going home because his so-called fiancé is waiting for him there. While lost in these thoughts, he pulls out a game character named Yuna from a game, admiring her cuteness and saying, "I love it." Dream Ice Stage. This is a browser-type game with many fully voiced characters, and they frequently hold shows on radio with their voice actresses. When Yuichi gets hooked on this game, he isolates himself in his room to recover from the rejection he faced and becomes obsessed with the game character Yuna. When he takes her out of the box, he becomes even more infatuated. Yuichi is completely mesmerized by her expressions, vibes, and voice, which makes him want to marry her. After that incident, he becomes quite scared of falling in love with 3D girls, no matter how much he desires them, because he realizes he can never know their true feelings, as they are not part of a game. Yuichi thinks about how 3D girls will never betray him. Imagining Yuna in a wedding dress makes him really happy, but then he notices the same plain-looking girl trying to retrieve a letter stuck up in a tree. Since the letter is too high, she cannot get it out. Seeing this, Yuichi goes over to help her and retrieves the letter, thinking that he really does not want to get involved with 3D girls. The girl thanks him for the letter, stating that it is really important to her. Seeing her beauty, Yuichi is momentarily taken aback and recalls a scene from the game, but quickly comes back to his senses and says, "No problem," before leaving. While leaving, he thinks, "Good that Yuna is not here. I will not stray to 3D girls." Lost in these thoughts, he reaches home, where the girl follows him. He asks her, "Why are you following me?" She replies, "I could ask you the same thing." Yuichi explains, "Because this is my house." Just then, his sister Nayu opens the door and tells him that he is quite late. She then notices Yuna's kitchen, which makes her a bit uneasy, and she starts to express her disagreement. Hearing this, Yuichi starts yelling that Yuna-chan is the hope of all humanity, and the 2 siblings begin to argue again. The girl feels quite awkward in that situation, but when Yuichi mentions Yuna from the game, she asks about her. Yuichi immediately replies, "Yes, I really love her." Hearing this, the girl feels a bit happy and thanks him. Yuichi, slightly confused, asks her why she is thanking him. She replies, because Yumi, I am Yuna. Yuichi is taken aback and thinks, what is she saying? He asks her, is your first name and surname the same? She says, no, my real name is Warena Yuka. Hearing this name reminds Nayu that this is indeed her fiancé's name. She congratulates her on the engagement. Yuichi, confused, is about to ask, but she interrupts him, saying, Dad has arranged for you to meet your marriage partner. She clarifies that the girl standing in front of him is indeed his fiancé. This revelation leaves Yuichi even more shocked. Yuka introduces herself and appreciates his love and support. On the other hand, Nayu says that this is indeed the client's daughter Dad was talking about, and she is his fiancé. Overwhelmed by all this, Yuichi thinks she is the voice actress for Yuna. I wanted to marry her since a long time ago, but this is really happening, and she is standing right in front of me.
Well, I know this one is so short and the reason I pretty obvious that I must have to finish my schoolwork. Also, I'm kinda lazy person, but don't worry, I'm already finished 2 videos script and start editing. So I will trying to upload as soon as possible, and if you are new viewer and you like this video, then check out my others videos.